Good morning, friends. Hopefully we're all here for the same reason. You're here for a yoga practice this morning. This morning I want to work from the crown of the head all the way down to the arches of your feet, really stretching everything out. It's going to be a very traditional practice this morning. We'll start by stretching the neck, the spine, the hips. We'll move on to some strengthening standing series, and then we'll try to get in that balance before we finish this morning. So again, top to bottom, that's where we're going to go this morning. We all feeling good? We have our, good morning Cindy, good morning Diane. You have your space all set up for you. If you have some candles, anything to make your space your own. I've got my pillow as my bolster. I've got my block, my strap in case I need that, and I've already put on my essential oils. So if you haven't done that, I want you to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get going with our practice. So I want you to just already starting to clear the mind, right? Getting rid of that outside chatter. We are going to start in a child's pose this morning. So from your knees, go ahead and cross your big toes. Open up your knees nice and wide. Sink your hips on top of your heels as you crawl your fingertips forward. And place your forehead right down onto the mat. So you're going to find that nice deep breath, in through the nose. Take it all the way into the belly. And then as you exhale, draw the navel to the spine and gently bring the breath back up and out that same pathway. And remember, if you can't get your forehead on the mat, you can always stack your fists and rest your forehead right there. Or if you have your block or your pillow, your bolster, you can just place that right underneath your forehead. And that will allow your body to completely relax this morning. You can go ahead and place the elbows down onto your mat. Sink your hips nice and low and find a nice breath. Again, clearing your mind of any noise or any chatter. Really sinking your hips low towards your heels. Relaxing across your brow, your cheeks and your jaw. Noticing the sensations in your body with each breath. And then on your next inhale, let's go ahead and float your forehead off the mat. Walk your hands off the front of your mat and then place that back hand right on top and go ahead and sink your head between your arms and push the back hip into the mat, feeling a nice stretch in the sides of your body. Rib cage opens up. Again, as you inhale, let's float the head back up. Walk your hands through the center of your mat all the way towards the back. Again, placing that front hand on the top of your mat. Sink your head down again. Push your front hip into the mat. Breathing into your rib cage and your hip. And with your next breath, come all the way up. We're going to come right back onto our mat. to tabletop. So get your knees under your hips and your wrists right in line with your shoulders. And then we're going to find a cat and cow. So as you exhale, tuck the chin round the shoulders. Maybe you want to hold for just a couple of breaths, creating that space between your vertebrae. Little tuck to the chin, stretch the back of your neck. And then on your next inhale, reverse that. Find your cow. Maybe we hold here for a couple of breaths. Feel the extension in your spine. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Let the belly drop. Even take your eyes, take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then follow the flow of your breath. Exhale, find your cat. Inhale, find your cow. Be sure to evenly distribute the weight of your body, right? We don't want to put it all on our wrists or our knees. Waking up the spine, giving it a little love this morning. One more time. And we'll come back to tabletop. So as you inhale, I want you to look over that front shoulder as if that shoulder and that hip were going to come together. So you feel the contraction there, but you feel the opposite, the back rib cage, open up nice and wide. Come back to center and try that on the other side. So you look towards the back. And then we're going to, again, follow the flow of your breath, going side to side. It's almost as if the shoulder and the hip were going to tap together. And you take your gaze towards your foot. So that's that nice lateral bend to the spine. Let's do one more time each side. And when you find yourself back at tabletop, we're going to take this front arm and we're going to thread it underneath the back arm. So you want to get that side of your head right on the mat, shoulder on the mat, looking to stretch the shoulder. So whether the back arm is extended long or you slide it right in front of your wrist, that's up to you. Find that gentle twist in your spine. You can let the hips stay high. And then on your next breath, let's come all the way up and we'll switch that out. So thread the back hand under the front arm. We want to get that shoulder on the mat. And again, take your time to make this work for you. Noticing the twist in your spine. So on your next inhale, let's come back to tabletop. We're going to take our knees just a little bit closer together. Curl your toes and just have a seat right on the back of your heels. So find that nice alignment, that length in your spine, your ears, your shoulders in line with your hips. We can take a nice full breath, bring our palms together and down to heart center and hold here for just a few breaths. Finding that length, that stretch in the arches of your feet and the back of your toes. You can always tuck a pillow under your knees if you need a little bit more softening support. Again, breathing nice and deep here. Feel the energy. And then as you exhale, you can go ahead, come back to tabletop. And go ahead and shake out those feet. Point, flex the feet, circle the ankles, wiggle the toes. And then just go ahead and place the toes on the mat. Make sure we're back to knees in line with hips. Open your palms nice and wide. We're going to find a downward facing dog, a gentle one to start. First one this morning. As you exhale, take your hips up. Let's walk the dog. Really, any type of movement that feels good here, you know, you're more than welcome to find it, right? This is your practice this morning. I'm just going to be your guide. So now you notice you can feel that big stretch in the back of the legs, from the glutes to the arches of your feet again. Little tuck to the chin, lengthen the spine. Let's go ahead as we exhale, come back to tabletop. Tops of the feet on the mat. Let's get our knees together and let's have a seat again. Sit on those heels. Inhale those arms up. And again, bring your palms to your heart center. Hold here for just a few breaths. Really pushing the palms together, feeling that energy. And with your thumbs to heart center, that allows that energy to travel through your body, making it available to you. So shoulder blades down your back, crown of the head up. Take one more inhale. And with your exhale, go ahead, back to tabletop. Get those knees hip-width apart. Go ahead again, find some movement in your feet if that's what you need. And why don't we go ahead, place the feet back onto the mat. Let's take that front leg. Take that leg straight back. You want to keep that hip closed. We're going to try for bird dog. So the back arm will go straight out in front. A nice long line, fingertip to foot. Try to make sure you didn't drift off to the back of your mat, right? You keep that back hip in line with that knee. Nice big breath. And then lower down, lower the knee, lower the hand, releasing your bird dog. We'll try that on the other side. Extend the back leg nice and long. And then float the front arm forward. Again, notice the strength right across your back. And then as you exhale, we'll go ahead, lower the hand, lower the knee. Again, tabletop position, curl your toes, find your downward facing dog again. Find any type of movement that you need. Breathing nice and deep. Find one more cycle of breath here. And then on your next inhale, back to tabletop. Cross your big toes again, open your knees, find that child's pose again. Feel free to roll those wrists around. And then feel free to bring your palms together and take your thumbs to the back of your neck. As you find your next exhale, we'll release our hands back to the mat. We'll inhale to all fours, back to your tabletop. Let's again curl those toes, and with your exhale, find your downward facing dog. Just feeling that stretch once again in the back of the body, feeling that strength across your shoulder blades. Keeping your breath nice and full. And then we're going to soften the knees, gaze at the hands, and walk your feet to your hands. Again, take your time. You're going to find your forward fold near the top of your mat. So again, if you need to put a little bend in those knees, that's what you do. Relax your toes and feel that heaviness in the crown of your head, just drawing your upper body down. So remember, if your hands can't touch the mat, anchor them somewhere. All right, we want to have that support for our back. So you might feel on the inhale, you might feel your upper body start to rise a little bit. And then as you exhale, see if you can draw the chest a little closer to the thighs and the chin to the knees. We have one more cycle of breath in our forward fold. Because on your next inhale, you're going to round up one vertebrae at a time. Go ahead, push those feet right into your mat as you slowly come to that mountain pose, standing tall. Draw your fingertips down, crown of the head up. You feel the strength in this pose. Again, breathing deep. Just feeling the energy, not only in your body, but around the room. Let's, on our next inhale, scoop up. Sweep your arms, scoop up all that energy, that goodness, and then tuck it into your heart. And do that again. We're going to do that 2 more times. So feel free to create the most gentlest of back bends. Hold right here, finding your next breath in. And with your exhale, just go ahead and tip forward. Tip from the hips, strong back, all the way to your forward fold. Halfway up with your inhale, and a deeper forward fold with your exhale. Soften your knees and walk your feet back. Find your plank this morning, the plank that works for you. Finding that energy in your belly, in your core. Draw the navel to the spine. Again, wrists and shoulders are in alignment, crown of the head to the front of the room. Any little type of movements here that feel good, that get you settled into your plank, find them. Because we're going to go to a chaturanga. Feel free to, again, drop to the knees first. Rotate those elbows to the back of the room as you slowly, you need to control this, lower down. Use that upper body strength. And then find a baby cobra. So we use, again, the strength of the low back to peel the chest off the mat and lower down. We're going to try that again. So as you inhale, use the low back, right? The head, the neck, they don't move. One more time, nice and light on your hands. Your next inhale will take you to all fours. Your exhale will take you to downward facing dog. So make all those adjustments to make this work for you. 3 cycles of breath. So again, we're going to soften the knees, gaze at the hands, and walk or jump your feet to your hands, finding your forward fold. We'll come halfway up with the inhale, and a deeper forward fold with the exhale. And then we'll reverse our swan dive all the way up, perhaps a little bit of a back bend, and then palms to heart center. We're going to do that again. This time we're going to follow our breath. So if I'm going too fast for you, I want you to go at your pace. Again, always make it work for you. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, soften the knees and find your plank. Exhale, hold. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for 3 breaths. Next inhale, we'll soften the knees, gaze at the hands. Exhale, walk or jump your feet to your hands, finding your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive all the way up. Palms together and down to heart center with the exhale. Go ahead again. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, swan dive down. Halfway up. Fold forward. Walk or jump to plank. Slowly lower, chaturanga, to a cobra or an up dog this time. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, let's hold this for 3 breaths. Reaching your heels to the earth. 1 more cycle of breath. So if you're going to jump your feet forward, you want to bring your big toes together. Soften your knees, gaze at your hands, walk or jump. Forward fold. Halfway up with your inhale. Find that forward fold again. And then reverse your swan dive all the way up. And palms to heart center. Hold here for just a moment. So notice the feet rooted into your mat, into the earth. You feel strong and steady, starting at the base of your body. And then as that energy travels up, the crown of the head draws to the sky, towards the sun. And you just feel that length in your spine. So let's again, on the next breath, scoop up those arms. This time with your exhale, you're going to swan dive down. Halfway up and fold forward. Soften your knees, but this time just step that front foot, step it all the way back and drop that knee to the mat. So you want to find that nice alignment on the back leg, right? The front, the back knee lines up with the back ankle. Really slide that front knee back to get a nice stretch. And now lift your heart. As you exhale, we're going to take that back hip. We're going to slide it back. That's going to extend that back leg. Walk your hands back also and allow those toes to come off the mat as the belly drops to the thigh, chin to the knee. Really draw that hip back. Let's go ahead and walk forward again. Find that bend in the front knee. Lift your heart. And let's go ahead and take that front knee. Take it off the mat. Nice full breath. Good. Can we find a plank from here? Take a nice full breath with your exhale. Go ahead. Shoot that back foot to the back of the room. Find your plank. Let's find that chaturanga again. Tuck your elbows in to a baby cobra or an up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. sink your heels down, take your tailbone up. And then we are going to soften the knees, gaze at the hands. Once again, walk or jump your feet to your hands. If you're jumping, you're nice and quiet. Find your forward fold. Come halfway up with the inhale. And a deeper forward fold on the exhale. And then reverse your swan dive all the way up again. Feel free to add that just little baby back bend. And exhale, thumbs to heart center. Full breath in again. Swan dive down. Halfway up. And fold forward. Good. Little softness to your knees. Take your back foot, step it back, big step back, and drop that knee to the mat. So now that front knee lines up with that front ankle, and really bring your hips forward. So you really open up that back hip flexor. Now we'll lift our heart. And then as we exhale, let's slide that front hip back. You can even walk your hands back. Again, maybe the toes float off the mat as the belly drops to the thigh, chin to knee. Nice hamstring stretch. Let's go ahead, walk forward again. Lift your heart. Curl the back toes. Are you ready to lift that back knee off the mat? Find your plank. So take that front foot, take it back, find your plank. Plank that works for you. We're gonna find that chaturanga again to a cobra or an up dog. Nice full breath, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So again, breathing into the body. Inhale that energy and release the toxins. Because on our next inhale, we're going to take the back leg. I want you to take it as high as you can. Your one-legged downward dog. Nice length, strength. And then as you exhale, tuck that knee into the belly. We're going to place that back foot right between our hands. So now you're in the runner's lunge. Knee is off the mat, high runner's lunge. Lift your heart again. Now keep in mind, if you prefer to put that back knee on the mat, I want you to go ahead and do that. Because as we exhale, we're gonna slide that back hip up and sink that front heel down. Again, big stretch in the back of that leg. Let's go ahead as we inhale. Bend that back knee again. High runner's lunge. Nice full breath. You ready to find your plank? Go ahead. When you're in your plank, you're going to go ahead and find chaturanga to a cobra or an up dog. And your exhale will take you to a downward facing dog. You may need to get onto all fours first and then find your down dog. So do what works for you. Get in your down dog. Take a few breaths. Because we are going to take that front leg up to the ceiling. Again, one-legged down dog, other side. Big, big reach towards the ceiling. And then exhale, tuck that knee into the belly. We'll place that foot between the hands. Again, feel free to grab the ankle to help it along. Now you're in that high runner's lunge. Again, lift your heart, take your gaze forward. And sinking right into that front hip. Watch that knee stays behind the toes. You may need to crawl your toes forward a little bit. Are you relaxing the jaw and the shoulders? You ready as you exhale? Take this front hip, slide it back. That's going to extend that front leg. Sink the back heel as low as you can. as we inhale, let's again bend the front knee, lift your heart, take a full breath. We're just going to find a little forward back rock so that you can take that back foot and bring it up to meet the front foot. Placing you in your forward fold. Woo. Halfway up with your inhale and forward fold with your exhale. Go ahead and reverse your swan dive all the way up. Palms together and down to heart center again. Hold right here for a few breaths. Again, feel grounded, feel strength, starting in the bottom and working its way to the top. So let's again, on our next breath in, sweep up those arms and swan dive down. Halfway up, fold forward. Soften your knees, take just the back foot, step it back. This time you're going to pivot that foot, that back foot, all right? Soften your front knee, hands to thigh, and then come all the way up. We're going to find a warrior one, so sink your hips forward and down. Again, watch that knee stays behind the toes, length behind you. And find your arms this morning. Okay, so whether they're straight up, whether you have goal posts this morning, or maybe you just want to stay at the hips today. Find what works. And then as you exhale, I'm going to have you find a warrior two. So rotate, excuse my backside. Find that length and gaze over your front fingertips. Notice the shoulder blades down your back. Turn the front palm up. And then as you inhale, just tip forward an inch or two. And with your exhale, reverse your warrior two. Allow the back hand to rest on the back of your leg. Front fingertips up. With our exhale, we're going to find a side angle. So the forearm rests on the thigh, back fingertips up to the sky. Take your gaze wherever it's comfortable. But feel this back hip and the fingertips reach up. Find your warrior two again. Turn both palms up. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. And then as you exhale, find your warrior one again. Nice and strong. Exhale, straddle that front foot. Pivot your back foot and drop that knee, that back knee to the mat. Take this front arm, bring it to the inside of that front foot. All right, we are going to allow this front knee just to drop open. Nice stretch to the inner thighs. Palms on the mat. Again, if you can't get your hands comfortable on the mat, if you have a pillow or a block, a couple of books. I know some of you are pretty flexible. You can even get those forearms down onto the mat. So a modified lizard pose. Find what works for you. Just take a few more breaths right here. 3 more breaths. So on that next inhale, let's come up. Let's bring that knee back in line. Sole of the foot onto the floor. Straddle that foot. Curl the back toes. Lift the knee. And let's again find that forward back momentum to get that back foot up to meet the front foot. Find your forward fold. Come halfway up with the inhale. Exhale, find the forward fold again. And then reverse your swan dive all the way up. for just a few breaths. So when you're ready for that next inhale, we are going to sweep up those arms and swan dive down. Halfway up, fold forward. Soft knees, and now that front leg is going to step back. Big step back, pivot the back foot. So ideally the front heel lines up with the back arch. Soften that front knee. Again, watch the placement of the knee. Always stays behind the toes. And then maybe we come to the thigh first, and then we come all the way up. We're going to find our warrior one on this side. Relax your toes. With your next exhale, find your warrior two. Open up nice and wide, and then gaze over those front fingertips. Again, you feel that stretch starting at the center of your chest, and that energy flows past your fingertips. Turn the front palm up, and then again, as you inhale, just lean forward an inch or two. Exhale, reverse warrior. On your next exhale, find your side angle. We're nice and light on that forearm. Fingertips and hip reach up. Take your gaze wherever it's comfortable. As you exhale, you're going to find that warrior two again, using the strength of your obliques. Big reach again. Shoulder blades down your back. Turn both palms up. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, find your warrior one. Take a breath. And we'll go ahead with that next exhale. Lower down, straddle the front foot. Pivot the back foot. There you are in that high runner's lunge again. Take your back hand, bring it to the inside, and we will drop that back knee. And you can let that back leg, that knee, open up. And again, so this is a very modified version of lizard. I need you just to do the best you can. I'm not looking for perfection, but I do want good form. All right, I need you to keep your breath full. Find what works for you. It's a generous stretch to the inside of that leg. And a big stretch to the front of that back leg. So 2 more breaths. So we'll go ahead, when we're finished our 2 breaths, allow that knee to come back in line with the ankle, straddle that front foot, curl the back toes, lift the knee. Again, find that little momentum, that forward back rock that allows you to quietly bring the back foot up to meet the front foot. Halfway up with your inhale, and forward fold with your exhale. Reverse your swan dive all the way up, and take your palms to heart center. Let's do that again. Big breath in, swan dive down. Halfway up, and fold forward. One more time, you're going to walk or jump your feet back to your plank. Lower to chaturanga, to a cobra or an up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice full breath. In fact, let's take 3 more nice full breaths in our downward facing dog. Last set of downward facing dogs this morning, so enjoy. And then we'll slowly bring our knees to the mat. Cross your big toes, open your knees, and find your child's pose. As always, maybe those wrists are tight, so find movement. Just listen to your body. Sinking your hips down. Enjoying your breath. Because we will hover the head. Let's again walk our hands off the mat towards the front of the room. Take that back hand, place it on top, and then sink your head and sink your hip, sink your back hip down to the mat. And as you inhale, come back up. Let's walk through center and then walk your hands off the back of your mat. So again, placing that front hand on top of the back. Allow your head to sink and now take that front hip and sink it into the mat. And then we will again lift our head, come back to center, and find yourself in a comfortable seated position. Sits bones root into the mat, crown of the head to the sky. Let's just relax our hands in our lap. So I want you to feel the length in your spine, slide the shoulder blades down your back, and close your eyes here. And then just draw the chin to the chest. Hold right here for a few breaths. And we're going to take that right ear. We're just going to draw it to the right shoulder. Really sink your left shoulder down and really draw the ear to the shoulder rather than the shoulder to the ear so that you can really find the benefit of this stretch on the side of your neck. You can even take that left arm out to the side, maybe a little diagonal, so towards the floor. And that's just going to stretch the bicep, the shoulder, and a little deeper into the neck. We're going to place our hand back in our lap. And now just take your chin and draw it down towards that right shoulder. Just changing the angle of your stretch. And let's go ahead and just gently, slowly take your gaze back to neutral. If you are cross-legged, let's switch it out. Go ahead and drop the chin down to the chest. Allow the shoulder blades to relax down. And this time we'll roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, ear to shoulder. Both shoulders slide down. Relax your jaw. And feel free to take that right arm out again, opposite side. Soften your knuckles. You're going to go ahead and place your hand back in your lap. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, just draw your chin towards that left shoulder. Okay, just again, feel the difference in the stretch of your neck. And again, we're going to just bring our head back to neutral. Let's take a nice full breath. Let's really open up those arms. And another chance to grab all that goodness and bring that goodness to your heart. Again. One more time. Holding right here. Again, just close your eyes, perhaps a little tuck to the chin. My hope is that you, when we leave our mats this morning, you're energized, you're ready to take on the day. And you use this energy. You share this energy with those you come in contact with. And if you have those times during the day, the next few days, that you are feeling maybe a little troubled or down, or you're not even sure what's bugging you, but you know that there's something nagging at you, come to your mat. Find your space. Clear your mind. Find your breath. Because I think all of us know that those few moments of meditation do so much for the physical, the mental, and the spiritual well-being. So let's together take one more deep breath in, and namaste. Thank you, everybody. That was wonderful. I feel good. I hope you do too. Make sure you hydrate today. Thank you for coming out to play with me. This will be available on the Facebook page for you to grab again if you want to do it. Share it with your friends. I'll take a look at it, probably put it on our new YouTube page. Again, that's Life Balance Studio. That's our YouTube page. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. And I appreciate you all. So thank you very much. Hi, Tanya.